Well, this is Israel's defence minister who has said this will not be a short war, an easy war. He said it is either them or us. And in terms of the release of that soldier, Ori Megadish, he was asked about what conditions she was held in. And he said, obviously, that will remain between her and the person she spoke to because of the safety of so many other hostages that are being held. You're watching BBC News.
Now on BBC News, the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.
Live from Nairobi, this is Focus on Africa on BBC News. Our top stories. Israeli ground assault expands into Gaza. 600 targets have been hit in the last 24 hours. Banned but still ongoing. Corporal punishment is illegal in Kenya, but a BBC investigation finds that pupils are still being caned in schools. Also in the program, the fog of war. Uproar over alleged brutal military operation in northern Ghana, but the authorities defend the actions of its personnel. And the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visits Nigeria. His sights set on the country's minerals and natural gas reserves. Well, many thanks for joining us. You're watching Focus on Africa. I'm Waihiga Mwaura. The Israeli army says 600 Hamas targets in Gaza were hit in the past 24 hours. A ferocious bombardment of the Strip has continued. Israeli officials say that dozens of Hamas fighters who were positioned inside tunnels were killed overnight. Now, there are reports that Israeli forces have cut one of the two main roads running from north to south in Gaza, which connect Gaza City to the rest of the territory. Israeli armored vehicles have been seen on the main road running from the north to south of the Gaza Strip. Now, that's close to Gaza City. However, a fully fledged ground invasion of Gaza is not reported to have started. Meanwhile, in Gaza, hundreds of patients are stuck in hospitals in the north of the Strip. That's according to the United Nations. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says that more than 8,000 people have been killed since Israel's retaliatory bombing campaign began. The 7th of October, Hamas attacks inside Israel killed 1,400 people and saw 230 people taken away as hostages. Those hostages include 2 Tanzanian students who've now been named by the Tanzanian authorities. Joshua Loitu Molel and Clemens Felix Mtenga were in Israel as part of an internship program. Ezekiel Kitiku is friends and neighbors with the 2 Tanzanian citizens that are currently missing. He spoke to the BBC about the abduction of his friends. Once again, Tom Odula, thank you so much for joining us, the BBC Africa reporter who worked on that particular piece, and we can find it on their YouTube channel. Now, we've still got a lot more lined up for you on the program. Here is what's still to come. Germany sends both its chancellor and president to the continent for high-profile meetings. But what is it looking to achieve? Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Focus on Africa. Ghana's National Security Ministry has defended the actions of its personnel, who have been accused of using excessive force against young people, civilians, in an operation in the northeastern part of the country over the weekend. In a statement, the ministry said that the operation was launched to seize weapons used by a vigilante group to attack its officers last week. Soldiers are alleged to have raided the community on Sunday in what appears to be a reprisal attack. It follows an assault on some national security intelligence officers deployed in the area to fight terrorism. Lawmakers are now demanding an investigation into alleged military brutality against young people, who are currently seeking treatment at one of the district hospitals. Let's see if we can get more information now from Emmanuel Cotin, who's the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Security and Counterterrorism, who also comes from northern Ghana and has been a victim of police brutality. Emmanuel, just want to get a sense from you on what further details you may have on this particular incident and whether the government has come out to say how many people were injured. Well, Chris Ewoko, thank you so much for speaking with us on that visit, and this is something that we'll continue updating here at the BBC. Chris Ewoko, they are joining us from Abuja. And you can get in touch with me and some of the team with your feedback to the program on social media. I'm at Waihiga Mwaura. But meanwhile, many thanks for having tuned in. That's all from the program. From me, Waihiga Mwaura, and the rest of the Focus on Africa team. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.